1994 Canadian 1 cent coin. Today, we're not just looking at a piece of metal. We're diving into a tiny copper disc that tells a big story, a story of history, economics, and a nation on the cusp of change. Canadian 1 cent coin from 1994. You might have one of these rattling around in a jar of spare change, or maybe you've never even thought twice about it. But believe me, this seemingly insignificant coin has more to say than you might imagine. The year 1994 was a pivotal one for Canada. It was a year of political shifts, cultural movements, and a sense of a new era dawning. And on the face of this coin, we can see the echoes of those times. Let's start with the basics. On the obverse, the side with the Queen, we see the familiar effigy of Queen Elizabeth II. This particular portrait, known as the third effigy, was designed by Canadian artist Dora de Hunt. It's a regal yet approachable depiction, and it was the standard for all Canadian coins during this period, but look closely at the lettering. It reads Elizabeth II DG Regina. DG Regina is Latin for, by the grace of God, Queen. It's a long-standing tradition that connects this coin to centuries of monarchical history. Even in 1994, a modern, independent Canada was still tied to its Commonwealth roots. Now, let's flip it over to the reverse side, the side everyone recognizes. This is where the real story of the coin, and of Canada, comes to life. Front and center, we have the iconic maple leaf. Designed by George Edward Kruger Gray, this is arguably the most recognizable symbol of Canada. It's simple, elegant, and instantly identifiable. But what makes the 1994 coin special is the subtle way it represents the economic reality of the time. In 1994, the Canadian economy was in a period of transition. The country was grappling with the effects of globalization, and there was a growing conversation about the future of its industries, particularly natural resources. The maple leaf on this coin isn't just a pretty picture, it's a symbol of Canada's economic identity, rooted in its natural bounty. Beneath the maple leaf, you'll see the denomination, 1 cent, and the year, 1994. The 1 cent is a stark reminder of a time when this coin had actual purchasing power. In 1994, a cent could still buy you a small piece of candy, or it could be part of a transaction that felt meaningful. It was a tangible unit of currency, but what about the metal itself? The 1994 Canadian 1 cent coin is made of bronze, an alloy of 98% copper, 0.5% tin, and 1.5% zinc. It's a beautiful, warm, and sturdy metal. However, this was also a time when the Royal Canadian Mint was starting to consider alternatives. The cost of producing a penny was beginning to exceed its face value. This coin is one of the last of its kind before the move to a more cost-effective, zinc-based composition in 1997. So, in a way, this coin represents the end of an era for the Canadian penny. 1994 goes beyond